Hi, I'm Seraphlor, and welcome to yet another video. Honkai Star Rails 3.3 is right around the corner, so let's do a recap of the story of 3.2 and try to predict where the story will go. Let's get started. The story takes us back to the Vortex of Genesis, where we submit Orynyx's core flame and attempt to ascend to demigodhood by taking their trial. However, in the trial, we learn something alarming. The Trailblazer is dead, and they are beginning to fade away. We relay this news to the Chrysos heirs, and Dan Heng believes that the Trailblazer died when their train car was impaled by Nikador's spear. Dan Heng mentioned that the Trailblazer was in worse shape than him, and when he tried to help, he was hit with a rock and promptly fell unconscious. When Dan Heng came to and saw that the Trailblazer was fine, he didn't think much of it, but now it made sense. The Trailblazer was saved by Fuli, the Remembrance, and has become a living memory. But Fuli's power wanes and the clock is ticking. They need to find Thanatos' location and find a way to rescue the Trailblazer from death. Meanwhile, with Anaxa, he is met with an Antikytherian by the name of Lygus, and he is escorted to Dawncloud, where he strikes a deal with Kindness of the Elders' Council to end the Flame Chase journey and deliver the core flame of Thanatos to her. Similar to the Trailblazer, Anaxa is also a dead man walking, and as he journeys to meet Kefale, he sees visions of the past, memories of the previous cycle. It is there that he surmises that Euphorius' cyclical nature is quite literal, as the current Titans were once mortals that went on their own flame chase journey together. Despite Circe's having no recollection of such an event, and through a brief interlude with Dan Heng and Yasin, we learned that Anaxa went to Kefale in order to absorb him. Fortunately, that ends in failure. With the Chrysos heirs, they are summoned to Dawncloud to debate on whether or not to continue the flame chase journey with the Council of Elders, who claim that they have a way to protect Okema from any and all dangers by erasing death by retrieving Thanatos' core flame, thus reverting the world back to Era Cresea, where death didn't exist. They show that Castoris has seemingly joined the Council's side and claims she will retrieve the core flame for them. We learn that Anaxa has shown Castoris a past version of herself, where she was the sister of the woman who will become Thanatos, the Death Titan. But something went wrong, and Thanatos vanished from the world. With the help of Cypher, the Trailblazer and Castoris journey to Styxia, a land closest to death, where the dead cannot pass on and be reincarnated into new souls. There, Castoris acts out Anaxa's plans by repairing the door to the Netherrealm where Thanatos sleeps with the help of Trian's soul and Castoris' mother. The door opens and we encounter Thanatos' husk, and after doing battle with it, Castoris is brought to the Netherworld by Pollux, the woman who became Thanatos. She explains everything to Castoris, that the two were indeed twins, and that in order for Thanatos to be fully actualized, both of them had to sacrifice themselves. However, Pollux selfishly used all of her power to revive Castoris in Euphorius' next cycle, and because of that, death stopped functioning the way it should. Castoris joins with Thanatos, and at last it is made whole again. And in another world, Castoris helps revive the Trailblazer, leading them to the world of the living. Back at the Elders' Council, after an impassioned speech from Finon, a vote is held to decide whether or not the flame chase journey continues. Anaxa was the tiebreaker, and after Castoris communicated to him his hypothesis was correct, Anaxa votes on continuing the flame chase journey, much to the chagrin of the Council of Elders. Anaxa confesses to experimenting on Kefale's body, and doing so enraged the audience into sentencing him to death. When the Trailblazer returns Thanatos' core flame, Anaxa does the same with Circe's, and is killed in the process. Meanwhile, on the Astral Express, Black Swan informs Himiko that March 7th's memories have been hijacked. And without the ability to remember, March 7th could be reduced to nothing. As Black Swan explains the eternal politics of the Memo Keepers in Garden of Remembrance, Fuli's gaze once more sweeps across Amphorius. With Herta, she prepares to find a back door into Amphorius, and succeeds. She is, however, stopped by Lygus, who reveals himself as another emanator of erudition. He tells Herta that Amphorius is effectively a lid that is keeping a powerful Lord Ravager shut, and if Herta probes any further, she could upset the balance of Amphorius and let them loose. From the livestream, we are finally going to come face to face with the Sky Titan, Aquila. Perhaps this will allow the rest of the Astral Express to land on Amphorius, or at least allow the Trailblazer and Dan Heng to contact her allies. We'll have to find out. Thanks for watching.